We're talking about prayer, and in Judaism, prayer is really the search for unity, because we are all created beings looking for some kind of wholeness in our lives. And Judaism teaches us that the human being is really on the highest level of creation. So we have the inanimate and we have the plant life, which grows but doesn't move. And then we have the animal life, which moves and grows. And then there's the human being, which moves and grows and actually speaks. And we learn, the Torah teaches us that God, Hashem, the one divine being, actually created the universe through speech. So speech becomes the tool through which creation is made. And so we have that as human beings. We each have the ability to speak, and through speaking, we create things. We bring our thoughts into manifest being, and we share with each other through speaking. And prayer is a point of that, where we actually speak our desires out into the open. And so that's why prayer is the search for unity. That in desiring something more than we have, in desiring connection and wholeness, we are speaking into being something that we are longing for and that we are wanting to be. So prayer is also our longing for something better, for something more in our lives. And we are also taught that the longing for something, the yearning for something more than we have or more than we are, that is very much a place of openness. The Torah teaches us that actually it's not what we have or who we are that defines who we are. Very often it's what we are lacking and wanting that defines who we are. And the analogy they use is that of a syringe, where you're pulling backwards and creating a vacuum. And that vacuum creates a space which needs to be filled. And that, in a sense, is what prayer is. We create, we notice, we are conscious of what is lacking, the vacuum, and through that, prayer attempts to fill it, or makes the first move in order to fill the vacuum. And we learn that nature, the nature of nature, is that it abhors a vacuum. And so a vacuum naturally needs to be filled. And so in our longing for something and praying for it, that is the first step in fulfilling it and having that void filled. So the beginning of prayer in the Jewish prayer book, the first prayer is called Modeh Ani, which is really a prayer of gratitude and thanksgiving. And it is said first thing in the morning, really as we open our eyes and come into consciousness, awakening from our subconscious state of sleep. And this is a prayer. Judaism teaches that the beginning things are always the most potent. And so if we begin our day, the first moments of our day, the first moments of our consciousness, of being aware that our soul is being returned into our body, because every created thing is made up of a soul which is more spiritual and a body which is very physical. That linking of our soul into our body is very important for us. And this first consciousness of the day sets off a rollout of being that has intention. And so the first prayer is called Modeh Ani, and it says, Modeh Ani lefanecha, melecha v'kayam, שהחזרת בי נשמתי בחמלה רבה אמונתך. And the English translation of that is, I am thankful to be in your presence, Supreme Master of all life and existence. You restore within me my life force with care. How great is your trust in me? And so that is how we begin our day. And that moves on to the next prayer, which is really a beautiful prayer, which is called V'ahavta l're'echa kamocha. And so once we have arisen after saying Modeh, we then begin our prayer by saying V'ahavta l're'echa kamocha, which is found in the Torah in Leviticus. chapter 19, verse 18, and it is, I'm ready to take upon myself and actively fulfill the mandate that you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Va'ahavta l'ra'echa kamocha. And I'm going to read here. All of creation is part of God's oneness. Our bodies are separate, yet our souls form an essential unity. A healthy soul is one that incorporates all other souls within itself. Just as any physical organ, to be healthy, must be connected via the veins to all the body's other organs. It is through being unified with all other souls that my own soul can ascend into the all-encompassing light that is its source and root. When we truly unite with each other, the Shekhinah, Hashem, God's feminine force, dwells among us. I meet God when I meet the mouth of God's expression, which is namely the face of another human being. And this is the single most important secret to activating our prayers. And that is why it is one of the first prayers that we say.